Rogers TV.
Backyard Bartender is on the road this season. Hi, I'm Brian O'Connell, and today we're at the Jag Hotel and the Exile Bar and Restaurant in downtown St. John's. Now, if you like rock and roll music, and if you like rock and roll memorabilia, if you like great drinks and good food, well, this is the place to come. We're going to talk to the guy who came up with the concept of Jag, and we're going to talk about rock and roll memorabilia. We're also going to talk about some rock and roll drinks, some of those classic drinks, and some that they've come up with on their own here in the house at Exile. So join us inside at the bar, and we'll talk a little bit more about my favorite subject, rock and roll. Hey, welcome back to Exile at Jag in downtown St. John's. My name is Brian O'Connell. Backyard Bartender is on the road, and a gentleman that some of you may or may not know, John Steele. Your family's been involved in the restaurant business. Well, your family's been involved in every business, transportation, broadcasting, but especially the hotel business has been one of the mainstays. And Jag Hotel is certainly an incredible addition to downtown St. John's. So I have to ask you, where did the idea for Jag Hotel and the Exile Lounge come from?
Well, you know, I've been blessed in my work and in my pleasure to be able to travel a lot, and it comes down to simply that I wanted a place that I would like to stay in, and it's not anything more complicated than that. And so I'm a big music fan, and I like all types of music, and I just figured that would be a good way to go about it, and so we just started amassing things and so came up with the idea. And
where do you go to start collecting pictures of Keith Moon and all these great rock and roll posters, the memorabilia you have here? I mean, it's not like you can go on Amazon and buy this stuff.
Well, you know, we do get a lot of stuff off the internet and stuff like that, but also, like, for example, probably the first piece that we had was the Keith Richards picture here, and we got that from a gallery in New York, the Morrison Hotel Gallery, and that's probably the most expensive piece we got, because a lot of stuff we have is not that expensive.
Okay.
It's just cool, you know. But I thought that really summed up Keith Richards, that picture, really good, before the ravages of heroin in 1971. And so that picture was taken during the Exile on Main Street sessions, that period of time.
That's the name of the bar?
Hence the name of the bar, yeah. So that was sort of the piece that we started, and we built out from that.
Okay, and you curate such great music here as well. I mean, do you have a first-hand say in that, or?
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of ownership, really. I think is you get to play the music that I generally like, and so from 6 in the morning to 10 a.m. sort of have a different feel to it, and then
not unlike radio station programming, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's day partying, right?
Yeah,
so
okay,
from 10 a.m. to about 9 p.m. is more of a medium, a little bit more active, and then gets edgier after 9-10 o'clock at night.
Now, I have to ask you, you've got a couple of chairs here that are, they look so comfortable, but they're real rock and roll chairs. Where did you acquire those?
Well, there's a guy here in town, a decorator by the name of Blair White, and he does a lot of work for us, and he's for our new project, he's putting it together, the interiors. And so he came up with this swatch of fabric that he created. And he said, "What do you think of this?" And he had a picture of Jagger on there, and Iggy Pop, and Willie Nelson, and Bob Dylan. And he went and got the swatches made, and he put it in a chair.
Now, this theme is carried through the entire hotel, right?
Correct. Yeah. Up in the rooms, every room has a different, piece or pieces of memorabilia in there and stuff. So no room is the same.
Now, we're going to talk about some of the shows you've been involved with, but when you do bring acts into town and they stay here, what's their reaction?
They generally like it a lot, and you get some that say, "How come we're not on the walls?" But generally, they like it a lot. It's but the thing is, the memorabilia and all that is great, and the music and stuff. But and this is no bull. The staff is the key. And we got great staff. We've always been blessed with great staff in any of the businesses we've been in, Brian. And and that's what we try to separate ourselves from everybody else, put us over the top with good staff.
Now, you can't have a rock and roll bar and restaurant without having some rock and roll items on the menu. So does your drink menu reflect that?
It does, yeah. We got one, like we got Keith Richards' favorite drink on there. He used to call it nuclear reaction or something like that.
How did you find that recipe?
I don't know. I was reading some book somewhere, and I went, "No, Keith's got a drink." So we call it the Keef because his nickname is Keef, Keef, and it's 2 shots of vodka and some orange juice. And I don't know if there's anything else in it, but there might be. You'll find that out. And I think he got into that through a methadone program. I think it's when he started drinking that one. So, so we have that, and then we have another one, Strawberry Fields Forever, which is very popular. And Stephanie, who you're going to meet after, she's always changing it up and coming up with ideas for drinks. And she does a great job.
And when people come in, their reaction to the drink menu,
they buy them.
All right. Well, you know, it is such an incredible place, and it's got such a cool vibe to it.
Oh, thank you very much.
You get people who come in from away, and I'm sure you've had some famous people come and stay here.
Yeah, we've had some people that.
Any name dropping you want to do?
Well, you really can't, not allowed. But I'm surprised who passes through town, and people don't realize who's in town.
Yeah.
And that can be anywhere from international business people to international politicians, celebrities, journalists. It's more frequent than you would think.
All right. Well, nice to know that St. John's is on the map for that. We're going to talk about this project you have on the go next door here, and I want to talk to you in a little bit as well about the Iceberg Alley Performance Tent, because most people, when they take a smack on the jaw like you took, would have said, "Nah, we're not going to do that again." But you went right back out and got another tent and got back up and went right back into business.
Yeah, well, you know, you have to keep going at it, but you know, look, there's a lot of people that are involved in the Iceberg Alley Performance Tent, and you know, the guys who actually build that, and they're so proud, and they do work so hard. And when the tent came down in the hurricane, it's a tent, and it performed as it was supposed to, and it wasn't that these guys didn't do their job. They were really, really devastated by it and stuff. And when I looked at it, and the insurance stuff lined up as it should, you know, I figured, let's go at it again. You know, you got to keep going. You know, and you know, I mean, I think it's worth doing. I think it's a great venue, and I think it adds a lot to the city, and it's a lot of fun to do, and you know, see some great acts and stuff, and so you know, it's all about having fun now.
So, Jag for Mick Jagger?
No, it's not actually.
Okay,
a lot of people think it is, and. You know, and I would assume that, but how we came about that was I asked a friend of mine, Fonda Bushel, to come up with some names for a hotel I was building downtown, and she knew what the concept was and all that. So she came to me and she said, "I got a name for your hotel and a name for your bar." And so she said the name for the hotel, which I can't even remember what it was, and it just didn't grab me. But she said, "I have a name for your bar. Why don't you call it Jag?" And as in getting on a Jag.
Jag, sure, yeah.
And I like Jag because it was short, you know, and sharp, and it sort of stood out, and it wasn't, it wasn't nondescript, and it was just a different vibe for it. So I said, I think I might use that for the hotel, and then we got to come up with a name for the restaurant. And I was on a bit of an Exile on Main Street kick at the time, and we had the picture, and you know, it's a great album, and so I said, let's call it Exile, and
so here we are.
Here we are.
John Steele is the owner of Jag Hotel and Exile Restaurant and Lounge here at Jag. When we come back, we're going to introduce you to Stephanie, and we're going to make some rock and roll drinks, so please stick around, and thank you for this. You'll come back later in the show. Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers. Thank you.
Hey, welcome back to Backyard Bartender. We're on the road at Exile Restaurant and Lounge at the Jag Hotel in downtown St. John. Stephanie Taylor is one of the bartenders here at Exile, and this seems like a pretty cool job.
It is pretty cool. I got to say, I've worked here for 6 years, and it's a pretty good time.
Now, I asked John if he'd met any famous people, and he said, oh, yes, and then he said, but I can't tell you who. I guess the same story applies to you?
Yeah, you know, in a hotel, confidentiality. But I've met a lot of pretty cool people over the years.
And this is a pretty cool place to work because of the decor, obviously the rock and roll memorabilia, and the rock and roll drinks. Now, you're responsible for making some of these, and we're going to start off with one that's called...
It's called Strawberry Fields Forever.
Okay, and that's on the regular menu here, right?
It is. It's been a staple on our menu since we opened, actually.
Okay, and what goes into a Strawberry Fields Forever?
So all of our cocktails here, we do use fresh ingredients. So the Strawberry Fields, we start out first with some muddled strawberries.
Okay.
Then we have an ounce of lemon juice, an ounce of simple syrup, which is just like equal parts water and sugar.
Okay.
And then we garnish it with a lemon wheel.
And that's it. So you're going to muddle the strawberries?
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you get to it.
So we've got our fresh strawberries here.
And how many strawberries go in this?
Well, for this one I'm using 3, but because you're special.
Okay, great. All right. So this is great. And when people talk about muddling, you're just going to more or less squash them, right? Now, do you bring it right down to liquid or what?
So when you're doing it, I find the best way to get the consistency that you want is to just kind of like put it down into the bottom of the shaker and give it a little twist.
Okay.
And you know, like if your strawberries aren't ripe, you're gonna have to push a little harder.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll muddle the strawberries.
All right.
Then we're gonna put in our ounce of lemon juice.
Okay.
Then we're gonna use our ounce of simple syrup.
Okay.
And then we're actually gonna add some ice to the shaker.
Okay, so we go over to the ice machine. Very important part of any drink is cold, cold, cold.
Absolutely.
Especially for a cocktail in the summer we've had where it's been so warm. I guess this is one of those refreshing drinks that people can have.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, you know, I did forget a very key ingredient.
Which is?
The alcohol.
Oh. Okay, so if you're trying this at home, how much alcohol do we use?
So all of our cocktails here at Jag are 2 ounces. So we're going to go in with our Iceberg Silver rum, and we're just going to do 1 ounce of that.
Okay. Now, if you didn't want to use alcohol and you wanted to make this a virgin drink, you could do that as well?
This is actually the easiest cocktail to make a virgin drink.
Okay.
All you have to do is muddle the strawberries with the lemon and the simple syrup, and it's kind of like a strawberry lemonade.
Okay. So you wouldn't replace the rum with extra liquid, or would you?
Well, sometimes I'll top it up with 7-Up, but
Okay.
usually, like if I'm serving it to a guest, I'll ask like what their flavor preference is. If they want something a little tart, then I'll kind of leave it alone.
Because you are a restaurant and you do serve children here, so it's good to have some of those drinks on the menu as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're a lot of fun. Those drinks are colorful and enjoyable with the whole family. Now what do we do?
All right, so now we're going to add our vanilla liqueur.
Okay.
So this is called Galliano. So we're just going to do 1 ounce of that. Put that in the shaker.
And do you have a shaker face?
I don't know. I guess we're about to find out.
Because every bartender I've talked to has told me that they have a shaker face. So let's see. Do you have a shaker face?
I don't know.
You do.
You're just going to give it a really good shake.
Yep.
Give that a slap, you know. And then we're going to take our strainer.
And now maybe we'll put it up on top here so we can get a good look at it.
Absolutely.
So this is Strawberry Fields. Let's have a look at that color.
Nice and pink. That's how you know you got some good strawberries.
Oh, wow. So, my question is always when I have a cocktail like this, are you going to be overpowered by the rum, or will you taste more of the strawberry?
I find you actually get the Galliano the most.
Okay.
So you get like the notes of the vanilla, and then you get like, probably second would be the lemon juice, and then you get the strawberry. The rum, you don't really taste it at all.
Well, let's find out. Strawberry Fields Forever at Exile Restaurant and Bar here at Jag Hotel, and it's on the menu, so. Oh, wow. That is, I do get the vanilla, but everything else just combines so nicely there.
Glad you enjoy it.
Yeah. That is one of the signature cocktails here at Exile at Jag. And Stephanie is the bartender here. Those are one of the drinks that's made here. But we have another one we're going to talk about now. We're going to move along to, and we didn't use the lemon garnish, did we?
We did forget it, but you know,
You can-
just a little extra.
I would have found it would have gotten away. So, All right, we've got a few minutes to do another quick cocktail here. So what are we going to do this time?
Alrighty, so this one is called the Keef, and I'm sure as you've gathered by the name Jag.
This guy behind us.
Yes.
Okay. So John said he read this somewhere and decided that they come up with their own version here.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So Stephanie, what goes in the Keef?
So this is actually a pretty simple drink, but it's really fun. So we're gonna go in with an ounce of cranberry juice,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do an ounce of orange juice.
Okay.
Then we're not gonna forget the alcohol this time.
But if you did, it could another nice virgin cocktail, right?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. So how much alcohol in this one?
This one is actually our most potent drink
Oh,
because it's
okay.
2 ounces of
2
hard
ounces.
liquor.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Keith. So this is vodka we're using here in this one?
Yes, so that's just iceberg vodka.
And we have orange crush.
Absolutely, we do.
Okay, I'm not so sure about this, but okay.
So we're just gonna top up our drink with the orange crush. It gives it a nice bright color.
Nice color, yeah.
And then we are going to garnish our drink with
Let me guess, orange?
an orange slice. And for
right.
color, a cherry.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, that is really colorful. That's a real nice summertime drink, you know?
Absolutely.
Or if you're a rock and roller, you know, it's a nice drink to have. So may I?
Absolutely.
All right, so this has got more rum in it than. Oh yeah, and you can tell. So
It's strong, but it's good, hey?
boy, it is good. It is good, but you taste all of that rum right in there, and you get all the other flavors. But if you like rum, is it rum? Yeah, it is rum.
It is vodka.
Sorry, if you like vodka. All right, so there you go. That's how strong it is. No, if you like vodka, that's probably a great drink for you. And again, it's a little strong, but it's very thirst quenching. And as my friend J-Lock would say, it wouldn't take many of those to turn the tide, I'll guarantee you.
Nope.
So do you have a favorite drink on the menu?
So my favorite one is actually called the November Rain, and I will be honest, it is my creation, but it's muddled blueberries, it's got some ginger, lemon.
And
has,
why November Rain?
Well, all of the cocktails here, they're named after songs.
Okay.
So I pick ones that actually play here in the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you leave here at the end of the day with a soundtrack from the bar running through your mind?
No, but I will say my Spotify playlist is full of songs from here. You can catch me serving around the dining room with my watch on, just shazamming songs.
And what about the other staff? Do they all they call them earworms when you get a song stuck in your head. Do you have that happen?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Well, Stephanie Taylor is the one of the bartenders here at Jag, and we've made 2 drinks today. We're going to make one more, but this is the Keith. And the other one was the Strawberry Fields Forever, and both of these recipes available on our site here. When you go back and watch the show, or when you're watching the show, you can quickly make a note of those. And I do like that. It's great. It's a little strong for my taste, but if you want something that's a little less strong, the Strawberry Fields is also quite good. So thank you so much for these 2 drinks. Now, when we come back, we're going to make what?
We're going to make our classic Jag Caesar.
Oh, I've heard of those, yeah.
Best Caesar in the city.
So what makes it the best Caesar in the city?
Well, the key ingredient would be the red wine float that we put on top of the cocktail.
All right, well, when we come back, we're going to make the Jag Classic Caesar. We're going to talk a little bit more with John Steele when we return on Backyard Bartender. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Backyard Bartender on the road, this time at Exile Bar, Restaurant, Lounge here at the Jag Hotel. Stephanie Taylor is with us. She's one of the bartenders here, and we've been talking about some classic drinks. We made the Strawberry Fields Forever, and we made the Keith, both of which I'd highly recommend. The Keith if you're on a party, the Strawberry Fields Forever if you want a refreshing drink. But this time around, we're going to talk about classic Caesars. And before we get to that, we talked about music here at Jag. In the morning, it's kind of soft, and then the music starts to increase as you go along through the day. The playlist changes, and Sundays are a different day altogether, right?
Oh, absolutely. Sundays specifically, we play like a little bit of like older country and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Just kind of to fit like the brunch theme, you know?
Okay, so I think of Caesars as a Sunday brunch drink. You know, if you're going to have the family in for brunch or you're going out to dinner, what's the first thing that comes to mind? A Caesar. But you guys have the Jag Classic Caesar, right?
Yes, we do.
Is it called the Jag Classic Caesar or?
Just the Jag Caesar,
The Jag
but you know,
Caesar,
it's
okay.
classic to us.
All right, it's classic. So what goes in this particular version of the Caesar?
All right, so first we're gonna start with our tall Jag glass.
Uh-huh.
We have a plate of lemon juice here,
Okay.
and we're just gonna dip it into the lemon juice.
And do you have ice with this, or?
We do put ice in it,
Okay.
but first you gotta make sure you have your rim situated
And what
here.
is the rim?
So this is a wasabi pea salted rim.
Okay.
So it's got a little bit of a kick to it.
I'm familiar with wasabi. Yes. All right. So is it? I mean, is it really hot or?
This one, I would say it's more of just like a really strong flavor.
Okay.
It's not necessarily like burn your mouth off,
Oh,
you know?
okay. All right. Okay, I can go with that. So what? Well, oh, Tabasco. Of course, nothing hot about this. So how much Tabasco?
Usually I only do a couple dashes.
Okay.
But I do like to just check with the person I'm serving it to, just to see like what their specific spice level
So
is.
for my wife, you could put the half bottle in. That'd be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Just saying. I'm not so much as she is. She likes hot stuff. Worcester sauce?
Yes.
All right.
The thing I cannot pronounce.
I think everybody has issues. Some call it Worcestershire. Some call it Worcester. Anyway, and I may be wrong in my pronunciation too.
I like to call it Worsh.
Worsh. Okay, Worsh. Some Worsh sauce. And
Then
what
we're-
else?
So this is a ½ ounce of pickle juice.
Oh, you know, when we had J-Lac from K-Rock on the show, he also used pickle juice in some of his drinks. What is this with pickle juice? What is this thing with pickle juice?
I mean, why not pickle juice? I think that's the better question here.
Why not pickle juice? So you take that what, from jars of pickles? You take the juice off the pickle jar?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay. What's next?
Okay, so next, I don't think you're gonna like this next ingredient because it's
No?
a little bit hot. We're gonna put in some
You mean hotter than everything?
horseradish.
Oh wow. Okay.
So this is just like a bar spoon, and we're just gonna put that in there.
That's a lot of horseradish.
It is, yeah.
Okay. I'm not, I'm not complaining. I'm just, okay. And so what do you do then? And then,
So now we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of iceberg vodka.
all right. And when do we add the ice to this?
So I like to add the ice after because with the horseradish, I like to give it a good stir so that way everything's
Okay.
mixed before we
Okay.
start putting stuff
Okay.
in there.
Okay. And we're not done yet, are we?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
So we're gonna give this a good stir. Make sure that horseradish is broken off.
Can I smell that?
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow. Okay. I can smell the pickle juice and I can smell the horseradish. All right.
And then I like to put my clamato in first, again, just to make sure everything is nicely mixed.
And how much clamato goes in there?
Well, my measurement is I like to go just below the A on the Jag glass.
Okay. That's a good measurement. All right.
So we're gonna give that another stir. Then we're gonna fill it up to the top with some ice.
All right. So ice is next. And that'll be the last thing that you put in this thing?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. All right. Because most Caesars that I've had, some of them come as a ready-made meal. So I have a feeling that we're almost there.
We're headed in that
All right.
direction.
We only have a couple of seconds left.
Oh,
So
okay. So the last step is we're going to top it off with 1 ounce of red wine.
ah,
And then for our garnish, we have house-made pickled carrots. We're just gonna kind of twirl it on here just to make it look pretty.
okay.
Then we're also going to twirl a pickle slice. And we're gonna finish it off with 2 olives. And then we're just gonna put that on top. And there you have it.
Well, there you are. That is the Jag Classic Caesar. And if you don't mind, I'm going to have a quick sip. Oh, that's really nice. Stephanie Taylor, a great bartender here at Exile Restaurant and Lounge at the Jag Hotel. There is so much happening here at Jag. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Let's find out more about what's happening at Jag in the future from John Steele. John Steele is the owner-operator of Jag Hotel, the Exile Lounge and Restaurant here in St. John's. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for coming by.
So I have to ask you, you're doing this massive amount of construction next door. What is the end result going to be?
The end result is we're going to have 90 extra hotel rooms, and we're going to have another bar over there. We're going to have a lap pool, gym, But the main thing that we're going to have there is we're going to have a 1,500 seat theater that can do different configurations, and you can also have meals there and conferences and
So it's
that
a
type of thing.
multi-purpose building then.
Multi-purpose room, yeah.
Because most people think it's going to be a theater, but it's much more than a theater, right?
Yeah, it is much more than that, and we're really, really excited about it.
And any idea what the opening date will be?
We think early 24, that's what we're really trying to push to make it happen.
John, how far out do you have to start booking acts for locations like that and for Iceberg Alley?
Well, here we are at mid-August, and just a little under a year till the next Iceberg Alley Performance Tent, and we've already started inquiring. We were on the phone yesterday, talking to people about.
How long does it take to book an act?
All depends on who the act is.
Yeah.
Some you can do pretty
I'm not
quick.
going to ask you, but
All right. All depends who the act is,
Yeah.
and sometimes it can happen quick, and sometimes it can take a while, and sometimes you get a call from somebody like we were talking 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and you want to do something now. So I mean, it varies.
now, being the guy behind all of this, do you have some favorite acts that you want to bring in? No names.
Yeah, I always got favorite acts, but the ones I like probably wouldn't sell any tickets. I think I've proven that before in the past.
So it is a gamble, like the Iceberg Alley
Sure, it's
performance
all a
tent.
gamble.
When you lost that tent in that hurricane, I think a lot of people thought, well, that's the end of that. But no, you said no. You went out to the performance tent store and bought a larger tent.
Yeah, we were able to get another tent, but the thing is, Brian, you can rally when you got a team that rallies with you, and I've been very blessed that way. And so we went at it again this year, and I was very pleased with how it went. And we're working, as I just said, on doing it again for next June, and we're very optimistic that it'll be better than ever.
And you've already started lining up those acts.
Correct.
John Steele is the owner, operator of the Jag Hotel and a number of other hotels across the island. And of course, Exile, the restaurant and lounge here. Great food, by the way, great cocktails, and we can hardly wait for the opening of your next venue, which you say will happen in 2024.
We hope so, and I hope you come by and we'll do another one of these
I hope
song
to-
and dances.
I hope to be the first one in the door. I hope you've enjoyed today's show, this look inside the Jag Hotel. And if you're paying a visit to St. John's, give the Jag a call and experience that rock and roll theme and have a meal here at Exile and enjoy one of those specialty cocktails and enjoy what's going on, that whole rock and roll feel here in this great venue. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Brian.
We'll talk to you next time on Backyard Bartender.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV.